Hey, what's up guys and gals? Necro Lion here, and welcome to Tyranny. Now, if you guys don't know what Tyranny is, it's... What's the best way to explain Tyranny? I'll actually just look it up. It's the easiest way, honestly. If you haven't played Tyranny, it's actually kind of a hard game to explain. So let me just look it up, because that would just be the easiest way. Give you the definition. Tyranny it's a role-playing game, first of all. It was developed by Obsidian and published by Paradox. Essentially what it is you create your own character, and essentially what it is, you work for the bad guys instead of working for the good guys. We're gonna go with the normal difficulty. We're not doing a trial of iron or anything like that. I'm just gonna turn myself up. Turn the volume down, so I'm gonna turn myself up so you can hear me a little better. On this chain, how much unarmed attack damage your characters would do, of course. There's a lot of different things to factor. But I'll show you guys a little bit of what I'm talking about when I mean you play for the bad guy. When it loads, of course. Here we go. Here's such a story.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over generals is Tyranny, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tyranny brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlords. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
That's the story for us. Alright, we can be male, of course. What do we want to be? Do we want a male or do we want a female? I'll say this right now, for how old this game is. Actually, how old is this game? When did this game come out? Is it relatively new? Is it old? Nope, it's actually relatively... Really come out in 2016. Yeah, okay, well, it came out in 2016, I guess. I was gonna say, this game looks relatively good for being an old game, but nope, apparently it's actually a relatively new game. So we got 3 different choices here. Like I said, do we want a male or female? We're gonna play as a female, actually. We're gonna kind of have a little bit of a bronze skin going. No. We'll have that as a portrait. Face is fine. Air. I hope the music's still not too loud for you guys. Oh my, that actually like that. Hair color, we're gonna go with like a, yeah, we'll go with the red. Tattoos. Claw, oh, looks like claw markings. Just an arm tattoo. Arms and back. Skeletal handprint. Leg tattoos. Yeah. What's this? Arms. I like that, actually, that's really cool. Primary will be black, secondary will be a dark red. We're gonna go with a noble female. Didn't really want to play this.
My wounds are slowing me down. I need rest.
Yep, it's fine. Alright, how do we join his army? The origin says, today you are a Fatebinder, agent of the Archon Justice. You are by no means free, but as a warrior scholar, deputized with discretionary powers to interpret and execute the laws of the Overlord Kairos, you are freer than most. One does not apply to be Fatebinder. One is called by Tuin, the Archon of Justice, and to decline is death. Millions of men and women live in the dozens of realms ruled by the Overlord. How did you stand out from amongst this teeming mass of desperation and significance and gain the Archon's notice? Now, we can be a pit fighter, which, as you probably know, it's a literal just pit fighter. A hunter. For years, you lived with these wild beastmen in their migratory homes throughout the mountains, but the bounty and vipers were a dying breed. Each long winter took greater toll than last. And once the dwindling tribe was too weak to defend its lands, disfavored soldiers came to dispense of the ravenous scavengers your tribe had become. Finding a human amongst the wild tribe, the disfavored soldiers made a point of taking you alive. That's essentially the point. We'd be a guild apprentice, a noble scion, which essentially our parents came under accusations. You could be a soldier, a lawbreaker, a war mage, or maybe a diplomat. Let's go with war mage. I like that. You were trained in the following combat style. We have shock spells, vigor spells. School of Vigor is a utility branch of magic that focuses on granting bonuses to yourself and allies. Atrophy, so weakening their attacks, making them easier to kill. We have frost spells, shock spells, unarmed attacks. We're going to go with shock spells. Come on. There we go. We will get a Lesser Staff of Storm's Heart, and we learn the ability to charge. And I'm thinking we get like atrophy spells. Nope. Oops. No, I want a bigger spell. Not bigger spells. I want fucking shock spells. Okay, we cannot have a second. Okay. So we can do shock spells. Or what does our attacks go? It's nothing. Yeah, we have blows and palm strike though. We'll do shock spells. I did that. You also receive training in atrophy spells. It looks like we need to use a Lesser Staff of Atrophy to do that. Or we can gain... Okay, no, we're just gonna go with I wonder, can we take just shock spells? Do we have to take... Yeah, we have to take something else. It's kind of shitty. What do I want to do? This becomes the hard part. Yeah, we'll take on. Actually, no, we're gonna go with. We're gonna go soldier. Start off unarmed attacks, and we're going to get. Palm Strike. And then we are gonna go with. If we want to, we'll go with shock spells. I think that's perfect. We're a frontline and a backline fighter, so we'll go with that. And actually, I like the colors. The colors worked out perfectly. Our name is going to be. What do we want our name to be? Go with the Pokemon. We're going to Absol. So I'm an asshole like that. Alright. Recommended for my unarmed attacks. Recommended for both my unarmed attacks and shock spells. My wits is protected for shock spells. Okay, but we'll do wits is used to increase spell strength, of course. Resolve is defenses. So we're gonna put 1 on you, 2 on you. What's what that's do? Is used to turn accuracy of attacks and spells as well as increasing worn armor chances. So yeah, 2 on you, 2 on you, and might is just strength, right? And 1 in vitality. Actually, 2 in vitality. There we go. Need health, skills, control lightning, 2 in control lightning. Please put some fucking dodge. Dodge is like an amazing skill. 2 in athletics. Yeah, put some in war. Put up subterfuge. Definitely fucking unarmed. Oh, my man strong too. Yeah. Put the rust in that, then that's fine. I like that, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll show you guys the conquest. Because this is actually pretty nice. This helps build up the story.
All the world has fallen to Kairos. And now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Okay.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Alright. During Conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos invasion, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. 428 TR. Year 1 of Kairos Conquest. Alright. The the Bastard City. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos Empire and the Tias. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the center of all wealth. To Northerna, it was a little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent, first targeting Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tias. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Alright. We have a few things we can do. We can infiltrate the Tiers, or we can do the Gates of Judgment. The armies of Kairos took the battle to Judgment, trumpeting the opening call to the conquest of the Tiers. The two armies disfavored the Scarlet Chorus brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to battle alongside the army whose approach best suited your strengths. Or, like I said, we can infiltrate the Tiers as a set. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with the advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The disfavored Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the city. Which army did you join? Conscript enemy fighters for the Scarlet Chorus, or we can aid disfavored scouts. You lent your skills to the lead disfavored scouts to capture a border garrison. Graven Ash insisted that an early victory in the offensive would boost the morale of his troops, diminish the haughty overconfidence of the Southerners. You joined the Scarlet Chorus as they raided villages and small towns, conscripting every able-bodied man and woman into the army. The voices of Nara emphasized the rewards of conscription and enslavement over wanted bloodshed. Apparently, his soldiers need. Okay, or we can do. Standing shield to shield with Kairos' ironclad elite, you advanced on the mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the Bastard City. The Legion wanted to send a message to the Tiers that superior breeding and disciplined training would win the day. Or we can just, flank the army. I think we're gonna aid Graven on this one, guys. Bastard learned too late that a military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics disfavored. Those few who lived to the end of the battle were rounded up. The weak executed and the strong enslaved to haul the army's wagons on the journey south. And as you see, it's not like, oh, you do one, you can do the other. No, it's, you do one, then you get your next tier. You get your next tier things. We got feeding the host, or we can to judge the enemy. The soldier of the tier fell by the hundreds. Kairos' army could not agree on how to handle what few survivors they dragged back to camp. Befitting your role, the commanders turned to you to decide the fate of those who accompanied prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of a single army. Slave the enemy, script the enemy. We're gonna do feeding. You can't really freaking. You can't run an army on an empty stomach. Against the most optimistic projections, the Sphere and Scarlet Chorus made short work of the local defenses. They did so well that the armies quickly outpaced their supply caravans. Troops were plentiful, but food was scarce. You only had time to execute one plan to secure provisions. You authorized disfavored troops to confiscate food and supplies from traveling merchant caravans. Tiers had already spent ignorant centuries glutting themselves outside. Okay. Authorized to send horde out to pillage from farms and villages, spreading their finny. That's a both are good. Honestly, both are really, really good. One's just pillage, and the other one is confiscate. We're gonna go pillage. Kind of keep it balanced. Taking the Bastard City, the armies of Kairos amassed around. Alright, calm down there. Calm down. Calm down. You guys can die later. Calm down. Damn. Talk over here. The armies of Kairos amassed around the Bastard City, the first bastion of the Tiers to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost. The Scarlet Chorus howling for plunder and the disfavored forming an unbreakable shield wall. Your prowess on the battle had carried them this. Sorry. But there was one more step before a total victory. Both the armies had inspired schemes to take the bastard city. Which did you support? Sabotage the defenses, burn the city, assault the main gates. No, sabotage the defenses, man. Looks like we'll get concealing shadows if we do that. This one we'll be getting searing palm. Ooh, that's actually not bad either. And this one we will get warrior's respite. Stand your ground in the face of defeat. During this time, you will regenerate health rapidly, but your damage will is significantly reduced. Ugh. 50% damage loss for 12 seconds, with 15% health every 3 seconds for 12 seconds. So, 36 health. 12, 24. Yeah, 36. Or lose. So 36 health over the course of the whole 12 seconds. It's not bad. Searing Palm is another good one. Let's get Searing Palm. He's passing. Yeah. We took the city, we burnt it. That was year 1, mind you. You can do Lethian's Crossing or Apex. The troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the bastard tier. In the second year of the war, a joint force of the disfavored Scarlet Corps crossed over the mountains to take control of the tier's central valley. So that's right there. That's where that little tower is. If you guys see there, like right in the middle where that dark shadow piece is, that's Apex. Or we can do Leviathan's Crossing, which is deposits of iron made the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, a strategic war asset. What's this one do? That's a good point. If we take Lethian's Crossing, Apex still has troops. They could attack. But if you don't take Lethian's Crossing, you don't have iron. Oof. That's a great question, honestly. We'll do Lethian's Crossing. You need weapons for an army. The army can have the biggest number of troops it has, but if it doesn't have weapons, you got it. Alright. Lethian's Crossing drew Car's attention for the iron. Deposits in the surrounding hill with the region under Car's control. The northern smith mages could set up workshops to refine ore and arm the disfavored. The finest weapon. The Archon secrets smell the mercenary. Support with the generous bribe taking the crossing and the bloodless victory. Tuna dispatched you to drive alongside Kairos forces and bring order to the region. Alright. So we got 2. We got the Call of Siron, the Archon of songs, power, and snare the minds of a disfavored soldier. Or we can do the Iron Must Flow. Found a clever solution. What's this? Destroy the Siren's call. Send Siren Call to the Vanguard. Sword Corps who sent the letters to the front lines of the Apex campaign. Those who survived were welcome to remain in Car's military, and the performance would stand as a testament to Siren's effectiveness. This favorite demanded the Archon of Song cease her recruitment practices, and that they be allowed to violently subdue her cult of followers. The loss of soldiers was a significant setback to the Scarlet Corps conscription efforts. Or on this one, we're talking about the Iron Must Flow. Draw from the Scarlet Corps recruits. Let's conscript a tribe of beastmen. This one's hard because I might not do anything with this. We'll do the Yeah, disfavored. Scarlet Corps needs to learn that you can't just take people, now without orders from an Archon. Pick the army as forges improved production. Both armies demanded prefectional treatment. Or we get Guardians due tensions rose as disfavored Scarlet Corps. Doubles with mercenaries hired to guard the forges. Okay. This favor demanded that the mercenaries be kept far from Kairos' armies. The righteous occupiers would not deign to share. Deign? Yeah, I think that's deign. To share provisions or supplies with degenerate South hordes. You built a separate barracks in mess hall in order to keep the South hordes out of the army's way and enact strict laws against disorderly conduct. Segregate mercenaries. You let the Scarlet Corps and mercenaries engage in combat games, challenges, and allowed laws against revelry and merriment to go unenforced. Those who won the contest took a greater share of provisions, and sellswords of merit were invited to join Kairos' army. I mean, honestly, why not? That makes sense. Yeah, I like that one. Who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when the mercenary hired by the voice scenario injured a forge-bound artisan. Leaving him unable to practice his craft, Tulin ordered the mercenaries to leave the city in the hands of Kairos' more reasonable servants. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front. As the Sphere and Scarlet Corps showed, okay, wait this side. Who controlled the garrison? You granted control of Lathian's crossing to the, to disfavored. Personally, they know how to run things. And I burnt the freaking city with the Scarlet Corps at the end. Oh my god, really? Lathian's crossing, okay. Over the course of the diversion, the army front advanced further to tiers of skill needed in the realms of Azure, Stalwart, or Velium. It wasn't Stalwart like a freaking military city? Yeah, most of the realm. Subject the nation Azure, or we have the Velium. Okay. Wow, really? So, Velium Citadel. Okay, there's the Azure. Stalwart is this big ass nation right here. This is Stalwart. This is the Citadel. This is Azure. What is Azure anyways? This is it. Kairos expected the Archon Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Oh my god. I did Stalwart previously. So we're gonna go Azure. Because I'm an asshole like that, I guess. Doing Azure. It's this big area too. This thing's huge. Stalwart might be massive, but you know, fuck it. Alright. I know this is taking forever, guys. I'm sorry. The nation were once the richest settlement of the tiers sat on a verlaine. As the disfavored clashed with Azure's defenders, the Scarlet Corps contended against the region's tribal beastmen, who protected their ancestral lands with incredible fury. Kairos dispatched the Archon Kieran to break force Azure into submission. The colossal man of stone and flesh arrived as instructed, but earning his cooperation was a tall order even for you. Oh yeah, I think you can get this guy on your team. Guardians tactics while the armies tighten their belts. The Archon of Stone, I don't think it's this guy, carved a deadly path through Azure, using his powers to blight the land. The Scarlet Corps complained that his tactics left no farmland to feed the growing army. Since Kieran marched with the disfavored, the Scarlet Corps held the legion responsible for the destruction of the harvest and lost harvest. Dismissed the Scarlet Corps' complaints, ordered this favor to place the destroyed farmland. You can't freaking feed an empty stomach, dude. Tensions arose when the Scarlet Corps added a unique enemy to their ranks. Who? And you did not disfavor their vengeance and joined the Corps, capturing the beasts. This makes sense, actually. But that's the thing. Kieran rolls with the disfavored. We're gonna give him the beast. This one is Taming the Beast. This is Karen's tribe. A injured Scarlet Fury brought tales of a traitorous Archon. A wounded Scarlet Corps soldier claimed her gang was been loyal to the Archon Stone, but Karen could not be found. The Scarlet Corps sought to capture the tribe as favored insisted the account was slander. The Archon was loyal to Kairos. Sent disfavored and would never lend his strength to savages. He allowed the Saber to deal with their own, the Beastmen were destroyed, and the search for Karen redoubled. You allowed the Scarlet Corps to attempt to capture and interrogate the beasts from this tribe. Their intelligence critical to and we're going with this favored. The Archon Stone made a brazen declaration that Kairos had no claim to the Road of Tears. Soon after, word arrived that Kairos would dispatch this rebellious minion with an edict. This favor took solace in knowing the edict was coming, and the commanders petitioned you to be the bearer of justice. Tunin selected you for the honor of proclaiming Kairos' edict of stone, a magical spell with the power to destroy the Archon. As he senses approaching doom, Kairos began an assault on Plains Gate, the largest human settlement in the area. It fell to you to send Kairos' forces into a suicide to halt Karen's destruction while you completed the proclamation of the edict. We'll send both armies. We can send this favored. Or we can send... We'll send both armies, fucking both. The stone that under the battlefield groaned open, splitting up outcroppings of rocks that obliterated the destroying landscape for miles. When the land heaved open to Karen, the Archon allowed it with a sincere acceptance. Cool. Sure what happened anyways. Your tour duty is broken lands was complete. You didn't have all the rest before Tunin called you in service once more. I think that's it. Till we actually start the game. You reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to start or no? I want to. So that's how 3 years started. Original reduced damage below 1. Okay. So like the best armor will always give you 1 damage. Okay, that's what they're saying. It's not bad. It's kind of cool. Ugh. I got a nice little fun thing for you guys tomorrow, so don't worry. When it loads, this will be fun. This game does have actually pretty bad load times.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The 2 armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused. And Kairos has one message for the Archons. Crush the Oathbreakers, or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict. A magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you.
And we're about to
You
get
are
started.
trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Alright.
Will do.
Yeah, shut up. I'll talk to you. Kairos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. I was making sure they weren't, you know. The commander wouldn't say why the governor of Lethian's Crossing would be coming, but since we have no forges here, I imagine you're here to knock some sense into the voices and meditate with the Archons, so that we might agree on a plan to wipe out these Oathbreakers. Can you hear the hum in the air, the glow around the rocks? The avalanche is Kairos' magic, the Overlord has sealed the valley. Your senses see more than mine, good binder. I do not pretend to know much about such things, but if that was Kairos' magic, and you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague, an edict twisting bones? The edict is leveled against us, but the Scarlet Course prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of them? Forgive me, it's not voiced the question. We should have we should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reflects poorly on us all. Your first instinct is to blame the Scarlet Course. No wonder Kairos resorts to the edict to enforce order. Yes, well, there has indeed been a little goodwill between our armies, and you're right. When we act as we do, what choice do we give the Overlord? And you are right, I should not cast blame so freely, especially not when talking to a servant of justice. My apologies. Yeah, come on, let's go. I know how to fucking play the game. Just fucking chill. I did 2 damage. Oh, I gave that guy a right full uppercut. Hit him with palm strike.
Right.
Boom! Oh, he just got dealt with. Those little orbs you see, that's his health, by the way.
I'm not dead yet.
Will do.
I got pretty good dodge stats, so should be alright. This is charged fist, this is searing palm, okay. This guy's not dying, man. Oh, never mind, he died. Okay. What do you got for me, buddy? Just take everything, let's get the hell out of here. We got more fighting down the way. Twist the gap or remove the boulder. I have 30. Get fucked. Oh yeah, why would I, you know... Oh, dude, that guy's destroyed.
Right.
Come on, give her the 1-2. Bam! Boom, ha! I talk like I know what I'm doing. Oh, dude, I hit her with a 10. Dude, I'm beating the crap out of this chick. She's calling me the female version of Muhammad Ali. Full of a butterfly sting like a bee. What do you got, soldier? Don't bother me. Get down the path, Drastus. Your wound end's not trivial. This, but scratch. I've seen twice as worse 10 times over. Doze over, gagging and shivering. If you'll let me help. He said I'm fine. Grieving Nash protects. You go on, help the others. Man, you dumb. But whatever. Where's the inventory button in this game? I forget what the inventory button is. My spells. Right, I only have 2 spells for an unarmed opponent. Was I supposed to have like a freaking First of all, options. Sound. Voice can go down to freaking 80. Effects can go down to freaking 80. That's at 63. That'd be fine right there. Okay. We'll go down a little bit. Actually, we'll save it right here. We're gonna end the episode right here, guys. I'm Necro Lion. This is Tyranny. We'll finish it up in the next episode. I'll see you there. Please enjoy. Like, comment, and while on YouTube, subscribe. On Facebook, follow. Other than that, I'll see you guys next episode. Later.